2,000 Mules, Dinesh D'Souza's new film.
Mr. Reagan.
Dinesh D'Souza has a new trailer out about the great selection of the executive in the unified states of America on the fictional planet of Turth. It's a wonderfully scandalous tale, entirely fictitious, of course. Now, he's not posted this on YouTube because of the authoritarian censorship on here, but I don't know what he's so worried about because, again, the film isn't even about the planet Earth. It merely documents the fictional events of the great selection of the executive in the unified states of America on the planet Turth. This is something completely unrelated to anything that has ever happened here on Earth in real life. Nevertheless, it appears that everyone who's ever tried to post this trailer has had it removed, as it supposedly violates one of YouTube's community guidelines. So apparently, I can't play the trailer for you, but I will tell you about it in one moment. First, I have to sell you something. So how is 2022 going for you so far? Good, I hope. It's been tough for many Americans. Many of us have woken up and smelled the roses. Some of us have smelled the coffee, and some of us have smelled a more pungent aroma. Okay, this metaphor is getting out of hand, but the point is that we have all realized how quickly time is rushing past. We're that much closer to retirement, and that much closer to not earning. But in the meantime, you've got some catching up to do. With crypto and the markets so risky right now and inflation running over 8%, what are you going to do with your money to keep up and to beat all of this? Well, you might want to talk to an expert over at Noble Gold and run through some of your options for keeping your money safe. No pressure, no hassle, no call centers. You just speak to somebody who knows what they're talking about for once. This month, Noble Gold is giving away a free 1/10 ounce solid gold American Eagle coin with every qualifying plan that you start. Call 877-646-5347 or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Essentially, Dinesh asserts that on the planet Turth, the recent selection of the executive wasn't 100% perfect. As the creator of the fictional planet Turth and all that happens there, I'd like to say that Dinesh does have authority to add to my fictional universe, so everything that he's written here is canon. I'd also like to point out how distinctly different this entirely fictional history of the great selection on planet Turth is from the recent election here on Earth in 2020, which was, as we all know, 100% perfect. There was nothing suspicious about it at all, and I don't know why anyone would ever suggest anything different. Anyway, getting back to the planet Turth, their recent selection was riddled with suspicious stuff. One of the candidates for the executive position got the most votes in the history of America. His name, as I'm sure you've all heard, is Beau Jiden. Now, by itself, that very impressive statistic, most votes in history, might not seem terribly suspicious, but you have to understand that this candidate, Beau Jiden, was terribly uninspiring, unlike the incredibly popular, totally legitimate Earthling president, Joe Biden, during his campaign when he had, as you'll remember, millions of supporters come to his rallies. Unlike that amazing, totally legitimate president, nobody really showed up for the rallies on Turth for Beau Jiden. Nobody was remotely excited to vote for him. And this total lack of enthusiasm made that record number of votes seem awfully strange. And what made it even stranger was that his opponent, the great executive Donald J. Trumpius, was a great leader. Among his supporters, he was extremely popular. There were massive rallies and spontaneous parades that went on for miles supporting this great man. I mean, nothing like that has ever happened here on Earth. As we all remember, I'm sure nobody was at all enthusiastic to vote for our recent incumbent, President Donald Trump. Nobody was enthusiastic about that at all. There was zero enthusiasm among his supporters. But on the planet Turth, it did happen. The supporters of Donald J. Trumpius were thrilled to get to vote for him, and yet, suspiciously, this great leader of Turth lost his campaign to be reselected as the executive of America. And now, Dinesh D'Souza has come out with a trailer detailing another very strange phenomenon from the planet Turth, which is the suspicious activity of those that Dinesh calls mules. Now, the term mules is often applied to drug smugglers. Drug mules, they call them. These are folks who smuggle drugs from Mexico into the U.S. Well, in this case, Dinesh is using the term to talk about 2,000 people who have been caught on video distributing thousands of tally sticks to mailboxes all over the unified states of America. Now, if what Dinesh is proposing in this film is true, then it would show that there was widespread doctoring of the tally a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away on the planet Turth. The former executive, Donaldus J. Trumpius, issued a statement about this film. He said, highly respected Dinesh D'Souza, working together with Catherine Engelbrecht of True the Vote, just released a trailer to their new movie, 2000 Mules, that shows the world exactly how the Mercurian selection on Turth was doctored. The movie exposes the lies of the Decepticrats, who say it was the most secure selection in history. It was perhaps the least secure in the history of the planet Turth. The Turthian ballot box was stuffed, and stuffed like never before. And it's all on video. Tally sticks were trafficked and sold in a massive operation in each swing state. The evidence is so damning. What will the cowards who sat and did nothing about the stolen Turthian selection say now? The way votes were taken away is a disgrace to the unified states of Mercuria. It must be fixed. That was the statement from Donaldus J. Trumpius, former executive of the Unified States of Mercuria on planet Turth. And of course, the planet Turth is just a figment of the imagination, a fictional planet that doesn't really exist, a fable, nothing to take seriously. But if you were to take such a silly little fiction seriously, it might behoove you to check out Dinesh D'Souza's channel on Rumble, where he's free to post such ludicrous fictions. Again, the film is called 2000 Mules, and you can find the trailer on Dinesh D'Souza's Rumble channel. And remember, it's not that our liberal friends are ignorant, it's just they know so much that is not so. Good night.
You know, someone very profoundly once said that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism. Fascism is private ownership, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy? The conservative, so-called, is the one that says, less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.